Hello everyone, welcome to BayernNow, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. I swear, I was live on the wrong thing. I don't understand what that was. But we're talking about Max Ahrens, and it's coming out from Bild, Sports Bild, that Bayern Munich have initiated talks with the player. He'd like to join Bayern, but now the only thing that stands in our face as a hurdle is Norwich City, who are demanding a whopping 30 million for Max Ahrens. Now I know I put his worth as 30 million. That's because he is worth 30 million, in my opinion, and also Transfermarkt's opinion. But for me, Bayern aren't going to pay 30 million for Max Ahrens. That's a lot of money for a backup right back. You know, if you're Norwich City, just understand you might be putting up 30 million because you think, oh, Bayern are rich. You know, they might be doing that, thinking we're wealthy, we're well off. Well, no, Norwich, we're not rich. In fact, just get ready, because you're about to get a 5 million plus 2 million in add-ons for winning the Ballon d'Or, FIFA Men's Best Player Award. You're about to do that because Bayern are not going to pay. What are you doing? Bayern are not going to pay 30 million for Max Ahrens, a backup right back. It's just not going to happen. It's the same situation with Ajax too. Ajax are demanding around 30 million for Sergino Dest as well. And Sergino Dest pretty much confirmed it because he was like, oh, I'm worth 20 to 30 million now. I'm so happy to... Stupid. But the reason why I think Max Ahrens is so crucial for us is because I think he adds something that we don't have in Pavard. I think, you know, in different situations, in different positions, and the same positions, you need different solutions. And I think you can't just have the same type. Someone was saying bring in Chris Richards because in the youth setup, he plays right back a lot. But that's just not how I see it. I see it as Chris Richards, Pavard, pretty much the same thing. Richards might just be faster, but the same thing. They bring the exact same traits into the game. Winning headers, clearing the ball, making tackles. They bring that in, right? They bring the defensive boss. That's what they do. But Max Ahrens brings the attack and the defensive impetus. So we can definitely see a situation where we have a balanced right back. That's what I want. I want a balanced right back. I don't know if Pavard is naturally a center back. There were a few people saying, oh, he was crap when he played center back. That's his natural position. I think you have to give him time. I think Pavard will make a great center back. I think I watched the Arsenal game that we played in preseason and also the Milan game. Did he play center? I think he did. He was superb. Pavard was world class. I think I tweeted it too. Pavard was the best center back in the world in preseason. Seriously, because he was so composed and his long balls were amazing. God dang it. Why does that sound wrong to me now? All right, well, he was good. And I think Pavard, for me, at center back makes so much more sense. But I don't think he would start center back at this moment in time. So he would be our right back. But his natural position is center back. The way he plays is as a center back. He clears the ball out of defense a lot. He'd rather clear the ball. He'd rather make the short, simple passes than try and make some impetus and some, game-infusing passes. I don't think Pavard is the type of right back to carry the ball forward. He doesn't really do that because he's a center back. And you can see his traits really falling into place as a center back. So Max Ahrens, for me, complements that, where he is more attacking, but he also has the pace defensively to keep up with the pace of the game. I mean, I was just thinking about how we play, how our team is. Our physicality is probably the best in Europe. I think physically, we're one of the best teams in Europe. Like, I'm not saying, like, we're the best team in Europe. No. I'm saying physically, like these guns. We're one of the best. Dang, they're growing. They're one of the. We're one of the best teams in Europe in terms of the physicality of our game. If you watch how we play, especially how we move the ball further forward on the pitch, it's amazing. The way the players do it, it's just so freaking good. I mean, defensive situations. Boateng is a defensive boss. And a lot of people don't know what that is. That's an Upamecano. That's a Koulibaly, right? Someone that just likes to defend. So, right, we have a lot of defensive bosses. And the physicality is amazing. Robert Lewandowski is probably one of the strongest. Did you see what he did to Company? Oh my goodness. He WWE slammed him on the floor, man. Oh, he treated Vincent Kompany like he was some abusive wife or something. Nah, Robert Lewandowski packed Kompany down. And that's the strength I'm talking about. Alphonso Davies, bodied Reece James or something. And he was amazing in that game in Mason Mount. That's the physicality I'm talking about. And I think Max Aarons could add a little bit of that. But some Norwich fans were telling me that, hey, he needs to improve his physical stature. Because at Bayern, we're playing a very high, intense physical game. Goretzka's strong now. Kimmich needs to pack some freaking muscle, man. God, he's looking small. He looks like that Jorginho picture with no muscles, and he's wearing some panties. But we do need, for me, in my opinion, a bit more defensive. Just pack a little bit more weight. Dest looks a little bit smaller, and it's just something that I noticed with Hansi Flick, and Boateng lost a few pounds as well. We're looking like a team that wants to be physical. I think in Europe, we're the best team physically. Like, the way we play is so physical. Like, we get up close, we're strong. Literally, we're strong. Would Serginho Dest or Max Aarons fit that? It would. So, on Serginho Dest as well, I won't shy away from talking about this. Apparently, Bayern Munich and Ajax haven't reached an agreement with the player. Both right backs that we're looking at, Dest and Aarons, would like to join Bayern, but I think the real hurdle is to really figure out how we get them away from their teams. We know Ajax. Ajax will want to profit. I mean, Norwich City would probably want to profit too. I mean, would you rather sell a player for 30 million or 20 million? You'd rather sell them for more profit. And I think that's where we're at. That's the situation now. But I think it's always about, which team is in a worse situation if they let the player stay. And that would be Norwich. Ajax aren't going to be dead. They're not going to just change their club. Their club isn't just going to die. Ajax will remain the exact same. They'll just remain, their youth academy, and then they'll just do it again and get a new right back. But with Norwich, they'll probably have more to lose by keeping Aarons at his club. Apparently, other Premier League clubs are interested in Aarons, but I don't really care about that competition. Who's interested? I don't know. Maybe Arsenal, but Arsenal already have a right back. Maybe like Spurs, but Spurs are crap. So, of course, maybe you can say, oh, he wants to stay in England, but I don't think that would be the case. I mean, if Bayern Munich are calling you, you don't care what language you speak. You're going to learn German today. If Bayern Munich call me and I'm a right back and they need a backup right back, I'm freaking learning German. Ich bin Spielkriegsster Past. Yeah, I'm learning some German. Mannschaften, Spieltag. Oh, FC Bayern München. I'm learning. Oh, Torgense. I'm learning some German now if Bayern Munich are calling me. So I don't care if he's English, he speaks Spanish. Oh my goodness. I'll learn some. Man. Jeez, I'll learn more German than Angela Merkel. That's what I'm going to do. But seriously, I mean, people are saying that's why he could stay in England. But, I mean, Bayern Munich are calling you. Man. If Real Madrid or Barcelona are calling you and you're like at a Norwich, I don't care who I am. I'm learning me some Espanol. Yo hablo muchas Espanol. Nah, seriously. Me encantan estos. Okay. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, Aarons would fit us. He'd definitely walk in and definitely be a big squad option. And there are people saying, well, we can just bring in some youngsters once again. People say it like that's how it works in football. No. This ain't how life works. You don't just take a baby and throw him into the classroom. No, you got to make sure they're a little bit old and can maybe talk. You got to put them through like preschool first. They got to be around other kids to really figure out so they don't be killing people when they're in the actual schools, right? Your baby has to slowly integrate. Like a baby doesn't just come out of the womb and automatically they're Lionel Messi making 5 million per second. That's not how it works. You have to develop them. And I think a lot of young players, especially academy players, they need to be nurtured. If an academy player from a crappier club like Dortmund, they're crap, is coming up, right? They get a different treatment to an academy player at Bayern. At Bayern, we know what we want to do with you. We want to win trophies with you. At Dortmund, they want to sell you off like a slave. That's just the difference, right? So they already know at Dortmund that I'm going to be sold off as a slave. And then, as an object. That's better. Slave is a bad word these days. I'm going to be sold off, right? And at Bayern, they know I want to win trophies and I want to have a certain mentality. I want to, to soak in the DNA of the club, like Unai Hoeneß said. And that's true. So for me, right, the reason why I wouldn't just shove our academy players into our first team is because I want them to really, truly soak in the atmosphere. because they're going to be playing at the Allianz for 10 years of their entire career. They're going to be at the Allianz Arena freaking with the fans. Super Bayern, Super Bayern, hey! After every single great match they play at the Allianz or away from home. They're going to need to know how to really play in that atmosphere. You know, there's a reason why our tunnel goes from level down and then it goes up again. There's a reason for that. It's because the club understands that the Allianz Arena is one of the most demanding but caring stadiums and atmospheres in Europe, in the world, and they want the players to soak it in and they want the opposition to be scared. So for me, it's those little things where I know what our club wants to do with our youngsters. We're not trying to develop them to sell them or just for them to do. No, we're trying to develop them as men, as people. We're trying to make them good people on and off the pitch, man. And I think when you just shove them in, I think there's a lot more development that goes into it. You know, that's why a lot of young players go out on loan, because they have to experience what it feels like to be fighting for a spot. And that's why I'm not really the biggest supporter of just, Zirkzee, you're a backup striker. Of course, I say that now because the kid scored a few goals. He looked important. He scored against Hoffenheim when Lewandowski wasn't there. Right? That makes sense. Right? I agree with those moments. But they have to prove it, right? Zirkzee proved his, right? He did. And we have to get other youngsters to start proving themselves. Some of them are in the Champions League squad. I'm sure they'll be subbed on if we're winning 5-0 against Chelsea. I'm sure they'll be. But yeah, thank you everyone so much, by the way. We're almost at 1,300 subscribers. It's an amazing scoreline. Yeah, 1,340 nil. Seriously, thank you everyone. This channel and community is amazingly growing, and that's freaking amazing. I thank you everyone. Can we afford to rest Kimmich or Thiago to not get a yellow card? Well, according to UEFA, officially, the yellow cards don't carry on. I think that's the situation. The yellow cards will not carry on for these players. So if a player was on, is it 3 yellow cards or 5? I don't know. If a player was about to get suspended for a match, it'd just get resetted in the quarterfinals. So Kimmich, if he doesn't pick up a yellow card against Chelsea again, he'll be, he won't be at risk against Barcelona, for example. So that's the best thing. I think I'm really, really, really amazed with that. Yellow card only until round of 16. Right, that's it. So if we finish our round of 16 fixtures with no more yellow cards from the players that could be potentially missing the games. So if Kimmich gets a yellow card, he's out for the Barcelona game, potentially, if we get past Chelsea, when we get past Chelsea. Right, so that's where we're at. That's the situation now. And I really, really do see the benefits of it. I think the yellow card situation, Kimmich picking up more yellow cards than a traffic cone, I don't know. I just feel like Kimmich just has this attitude about him, like he wants to kill people on the pitch just to prove he's a leader. Like, come on, man. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. So, yeah, he just does it. I feel like he does it for fun. Right. I mean, what is wrong with our players sometimes? They act like they're drunk on the pitch, man. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. Also, I think the squads have separated. So the players that I think are going to be in the Champions League have separated from the players that aren't going to be in the Champions League. So the players that weren't in the Champions League squad are gone. So Sané isn't really in the Champions League squad right now. And we also have Saprit Singh, who's not in the Champions League squad. Speaking about Saprit Singh, I made a post on Facebook. I don't use Facebook. I just go on the Bayern pages and post a really nice thing, and hundreds of people flock over to it and congratulate me for a great post. That's what I do on Facebook. But someone said when I posted about Havertz that we don't need to have Kai Havertz. We can just give Saprit Singh minutes. And every time Saprit Singh has played, the kid looks a little bit like out of pace. That's one thing I'm talking about when I say young players. They're not going to look like, just because they're playing in the system that we required them to be playing in doesn't actually mean that they can play in the first team. There's players in our youth team that look amazing in our youth team, but they won't be good when they get in the first team. It's just how it works. Maybe 2 or 3 players out of that graduating class will be world class and actually starting for Bayern. We can all make predictions of who that is, but we don't know. We don't know who's going to be successful from our youth academy. That's why we send them out on loan, try to give them minutes and professional experience, and try and see if they can cope with a different environment where they have to fight for a spot, where they're not being outshadowed, outlooked for because of Robert Lewandowski, Thomas Muller, right? You're not gonna get in the squad ahead of Muller if they're both fit. That's not gonna. If you have Lewandowski and Muller and you're a manager, I don't care how old he is. You're picking Lewandowski because you're just picking his experience. But if you have a young player who isn't really that proven, you're gonna want to send him out on loan so he can gain experience, and then you can see. You don't think Hansi Flick will be checking out these players' loan developments? We're going to have scouts looking for these players and the things they're doing right, writing things down game by game. We're going to have match footage being analyzed when the squad planning comes into play. There's a reason why Adrian Fine is back and he's not going back on loan, because we've looked at what he's good at, what he's not good at, and the club have discovered that these are the things that he's going to have to improve, but also these are the things that he's already good at. That's why Fine is here. And someone like a Lucas Mai isn't. He's out on loan because he needs match and game experience. So also, Bayern Munich are looking for another Celtic player. So now we have Liam Morrison. I think we have like 2 other Celtic. Oh my goodness. We're basically just becoming Brexit FC. You might as well just call us that, because we're looking for all these Scottish, British players all over the place. So Barry Hopburn, apparently he's flying to Munich on Thursday to complete his move. I'm not exactly sure. He's only 16 years old. He's really good apparently, these players will come up in like 2 years, 3 years, and people will be like, oh my God, that's an amazing player. And that's just cool. I can't wait for that. I can't wait to see what happens, right? He looks like a good player. Niklas Zula, my son, God, he changed his agent to the person that represents Toni Kroos and Marco Reus. Hopefully that's not his contract expires in 2 years. I don't think we should start looking for a contract extension because he's been out for an entire season, right? So, wow, Ismail Benacer at AC Milan is just praising Thiago. Well, if he wants to join, door's open. The door is open. So, speaking about doors open, the fans. So there'll be no away fans in the stadiums until the end of 2020. No safe standing, right, until October the 31st. There will be no alcohol. The German government just has to say yes. And there'll be personalized tickets. I think that means, I don't know. Obviously, you'll get checked, right? You'll get checked before you get into the stadium. So that's where things are, as it stands, things are going in that direction right now, right? They want spectators in the stadium starting from next season, right, which is in a month from now, right? So they want fans back in the stadium, and the little restrictions make sense for what they're supposed to do, right? Not sure about telling Germans they can't drink no damn beer. Und you can't drink beer. Oh my God! Oh! Yeah, I don't know what the reaction. Und very stupid. I don't know. I'm sorry. If you're German, you might as well just unsubscribe, because I'm gonna make accent jokes. That's what I do. Me and my homies will make accent. I'm gonna make accent jokes, man. That's what I do. But there are a few youngsters in that Champions League squad. Apparently, Bayern Munich are looking for Pedri. Nah, shut up. I don't want to develop Barcelona. What is it with us and rejects from Barcelona? Not rejects. We just like developing other teams' players other than our own. Everyone's always just on one side like, oh, let's develop our young players. Let's keep them at a certain level. But then on one side, people are like, well, let's loan players. I don't know. Our board is weird. We loan James for no reason. Coutinho, look. I actually calculated this yesterday. People are always talking about, why don't Bayern spend money? Well, here's the reason. Since James Rodriguez's loan, we have spent at least 100 million on loan players. 100 million on loan players. Where is James? Where is Coutinho? Where is Perisic? Where is Odriozola? I don't know. But we have spent 100 plus million since 2017 when we got James. 100 million. 100 million. That's a lot of money, isn't it? That's a lot of money, right? We spent about 40, 50 million on James alone, right? His loan fee was like, 20 million, and then he got paid a lot of wages. See, imagine if we never loaned James and we actually just signed a player. an attacking midfielder. Imagine if we never signed Coutinho and we just went for someone like a Kai Havertz last year. Imagine if we never did these things and instead we maybe just didn't decide to spend 25 million on Coutinho's wages in one season. Coutinho, people are talking about, oh, Coutinho's done all right. And shut up, man. Don't piss me off because 8 goals, 5 assists? That's worth 40 million to you because that's how much he has costed this club. 40 million. 8 goals. Nah, you're telling me, let me divide this. Nah. He's like, 13 goal contribute? Nah, let's say he's 15 because I don't know the exact amount. You divide 40 million, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, by his 15 goal contributions, essentially. You're getting 2.6 million per goal contribution from Coutinho. That's what you're telling me is good? Oh my God, don't make me slap ya. Nah, we do need to understand that these loans make no sense. And we need to stop loaning players just for the sake of loaning players. You don't have to loan Bayern. Of course, it's a decent system to make sure you don't lose anything on a big name player. If we signed James for 40 million, he would have basically been a flop. I mean, in a way, Tolisso is also the same way. He's a flop. But you can't just do that. That's annoying to me because you can't. That's not how you do business. That's not exactly how we want to do business. We want to buy players that are going to be here for a long-term future and not just these players that we get once in a year. So I'm not exactly sure. Erik ten Hag for Dortmund. Well, I don't know. I don't know what that would mean. Don't worry. Dortmund will get the money and use it for what? Loan deals are underrated. We can have backups without signings, and they won't complain about being on the bench. Yeah, I think Coutinho's happy about being on the bench at Bayern instead of Barcelona. Well, I think it's interesting just what's happening in around loan deals. You can say, I like loan deals. I think a lot of people don't mind loan deals. I don't mind it, right? And I think people just have to understand that apparently we're trying to loan Pedri without an option to buy. Even if it's for 2 years, that player's just gonna leave and go to Barcelona. Like you have nothing you can do about it. No. That's not how I want to do things, man. I think I'd rather just give that opportunity to players like young players, like you all say all the time, that are actually here, than loan a player like Coutinho for 40 million for one season, where he averages 2.6 million per goal contribution. That's a bit that makes me just want to slap someone, because that's the type of thing that you hear and get a heart attack. 2.6 million per goal contribution. $2 million per goal contribution for Phil Coutinho. He's not that crazy good. If Lionel Messi was it makes sense. Messi getting 1 goal probably is worth $1 million. Ronaldo the same. Lewandowski is probably like 500k per goal, right? It's just how it is. That's how the business world works. But Coutinho, of all people, is literally... So Thomas Muller's goals and assists don't mean as much as Coutinho's goals and assists, since they're getting paid significantly less or different types of money. Coutinho is making money that you sign a Neymar and give him 25 million a year. That's a lot of money. I think that he's on 25 million a year. Right. I think, loan deals are troubling us. Also, player wages. That's a big problem these days. Also, I forgot to say, we're 4 days away from Bayern returning in the Champions League. I don't think we'll do the fan watch. I don't think we'll do it. I think it's a little bit different when you're... Yeah. It's just, I don't think you know how much work it is to actually do these fan watches, especially the Zoom ones. That's what I'm referring to, right? We did it on a friendly because, right, but in a Champions League, I need to focus on the game, and I barely focused on that game, because all I'd be doing, I'd be switching to the Zoom and trying to interact, and the game was going on. I don't know. Maybe for the final, or if we get to the Champions League final, then we'll do the fan watch, but not for the knockout games. It just won't happen because I can't focus on the game. So 3 days away from the Champions League. Wow. So this time in 3 days, right? Oh, geez. We will be watching Man City versus Real Madrid. at the Etihad Stadium. I can't wait. I think a lot of us, I've been thinking about Real Madrid, right? I think they're our biggest opponents if we played them. I think we do well. I think we'd be great against any opponent, right? Atletico Madrid, right? The reason why Real Madrid succeeded against Atletico so many times in the UCL is because, and also in La Liga too, in just the cup competitions, Real Madrid succeed against Atletico so easily. Is actually not because of Atletico, it's because of Real Madrid and their strengths, the physicality, right? That's something that Atletico don't like. They don't like a team that can match them for physicality. Atletico are a fit team. Imagine a more fit team, right? Look at Liverpool. Liverpool should have probably won that game, right, if they took their chances. But they didn't. And that's the situation. That's the margins when you play Atletico. But we're a physical team. I don't think Atletico Madrid's defenders want to play Davies. I don't think they're getting ready to play Lewandowski. If we were to play Atletico in the final, that is, because we can only face them in the final. I don't think they're ready to play Thomas Muller's movement, right? These are players that they faced in 2016, but I think they're facing players in a different system where it's more physical. There's more cutting edge. What I think we lacked from 2014 to 2016 was cutting edge, right? I said it to a City fan a few weeks ago, and people got mad at me. City don't have cutting edge, and it's not something that I take back. No, they don't. They have players that are amazing, that can score, that can do good things, but in big games, they don't have cutting edge. They can't slice an opponent open, right? They have possession, 60-70% possession against Arsenal, yet lose 2-0. There's no cutting edge in these big games where teams park the bus against them. So, I think under Flick, we do have cutting edge. We have that pass that can do something brilliant. Look at Alaba. Alaba has 2 assists? He did this assist with Muller where, I think it was Hoffenheim, crossed it. He was standing in the center back position and crossed the ball, and Muller scored it. Brilliant from Alaba. That's what I mean by cutting edge. We have something from anywhere around the pitch, right? We have Boateng can just whack a ball, loop ball, Muller in behind. That's it. That's the cutting edge I'm talking about. And I think if we were to face these bigger teams, we have cutting edge that some teams don't. Real Madrid, on the other hand, like I said, we could play City. They wouldn't have the cutting edge that we do. But if we play Real Madrid, it will really be a game of countering, right? Real Madrid will try to isolate our center backs. They'll probably go with some stupid 4-4-2. It won't be stupid because it could work. And they'll defend like Atletico Madrid, right? I think that's what they could do, but mainly a 4-3-3, right? With Benzema up top trying to isolate, and then their fullbacks are going to be, one up, one down. That's how they're going to play. But I think, what we could do in that situation would really be to pin their fullbacks back, because that's not their weakness, but then that would allow the space in between the half spaces for Lewandowski and Muller to roam around. And also Kimmich and Goretzka can stagger themselves when we're building out from the back, which is something we've been doing so well. Look at the goal Kimmich scored against Dortmund. I think Goretzka was back and then Kimmich went up. And then we pressed them very quickly, got the ball. Davies made a pass. It didn't go through, but it ended up with Kimmich, and he scored that goal against Dortmund. That's staggering your lines, and I think we could do that very well. A Man City, I can see us pressing them in like a 4-2-4, right? Where we try and pin their fullbacks back because they're the biggest weakness. We tried to do it against Liverpool with Ribery staying on Alexander-Arnold's side, but Ribery didn't have the pace, right? He got past Trent Alexander-Arnold a few times, but he didn't really have the cutting pace to really continue to do it. So, right. James played well against Madrid. What was Muller and Lewandowski? Lewandowski's always missing in the lap. What the hell are you talking about? Okay, James played well against Real Madrid. Did he score? Lewandowski scored 4 goals against Real Madrid, a prime Real Madrid team. So don't talk to me about Lewandowski missing in big games. What do people expect from strikers? Like, what the hell are people expecting? What striker scores in big games? Does Benzema? No, Benzema doesn't score in big. There's not a single striker in world football that can score in big games. It doesn't happen. You know why? Right? Ronaldo scores, but that's because he's a winger. Benzema sacrifices himself, right? And when you say things like Lewandowski doesn't score big, don't piss me off, because here's what happens in big games. Big games have Sergio Ramos, Van Dijk. Those are the defenders you're facing. They will limit you. They will have two defenders on you that are world class essentially. That's where your wingers come into hand. Serge Gnabry comes in handy. Lewandowski wasn't going to score against Chelsea, but Gnabry did, and that opened up Chelsea. That allowed Lewandowski to score. I don't see many strikers scoring in big games. It's true Lewandowski gets lost in big... Oh, well, let's just drop him and play any striker that scores in... What striker? Does Aguero score in big games? No. Sergio Aguero doesn't score in big games. Does Benzema? No. Benzema doesn't score in big games. No striker in this world can score in big games. No world class. Does Harry Kane score in big games? No. Does Aubameyang score in big games? No. It's not a thing with strikers. Strikers are not supposed to be the scorers in big games because they're defenders that place themselves on them. They stay tight. And what happens in those big games is because the defenders are tight, right? Because every defender is on Lewandowski, the attention goes on him. Whenever he touches the ball, someone's next to him. Did Lewandowski play that well against Leipzig when Konate pocketed him? No, because the defenders are just on another level. And that's where your wingers come into handy. That's where it comes in. Mario Mandzukic wasn't the big game scorer. It was Robin and Ribery. They were the big game players. The wingers. The wingers are going to get so much more space. It all comes down to the wingers and the attacking midfielders. And that's it. Talking about James scored in big. What the hell happened then? That's why he's here now? That's why he's sitting on some bench in Madrid. Right? Suarez don't score in no big games. This kid hasn't scored an away goal in the Champions League for 5 years. Luis Suarez doesn't score in big games either. So, who should we put as our left winger? I think it'd be Sané. Right? And that's where we come in with Sané. Right? That's what happens. No striker. R9. Did R9 score in... Not many strikers score in big games. Not many. But our problem is that in the last few years, we haven't really had the wingers. Even Robin and Ribery didn't really offer that much in especially the big Champions League knockout rounds like they did when they were in their primes. Right? We have Coman now who can't decide if he wants to cross to Paris or back to freaking, I don't know, or back to Italy. He can't decide in front of goal. And Gnabry is just coming into himself. You're seeing it. Games where Lewandowski didn't score, Gnabry scored. Over the last 2 years, especially with Kovac, we've been so over-reliant on Lewandowski. The guy was involved in 40% of our goals. And now we're seeing people that are scoring. So, defenders can't slack much. Suarez was with Neymar and Messi. Exactly. Right? Look at Liverpool this season versus last season versus Barcelona. The defenders stuck tight on Suarez. But you know who else was there? Leno, god dang Messi. And he scored. That's why Messi's so good in big games. And then don't come at me. Would Sané be able to play in the Champions League? No, he couldn't. I'm really get annoyed when people say Lewandowski doesn't perform in big games. Because it just strikes me of ignorance. Because you're not looking at the big picture. You're not... Okay, at least look at the fact that Lewandowski in big games is playing Van Dijk, Sergio Ramos, Piqué, the best defenders in the world. They're not going to allow him to score. No. And that's where your wingers, your midfielders come in. Your goal scorers from the midfield come in. Aguero doesn't score in big games, yet he's one of the best strikers in the world. Well, he isn't now, but you know what I mean. Suarez didn't score in big games that much, yet he had Messi and Neymar. Neymar! If you have Neymar on your team and Messi, you might as well just, as a striker, sit in front of the defenders and commentate. Because they're going to do everything for you. And that's why you can't come at me and talk about Lewandowski doesn't score in big games. Because it pisses me off. When you say it, you're just telling me you don't know anything about football. Because when you're saying Lewandowski doesn't score in big games or he goes missing, he's doing something that Lewandowski drops deep. There's a reason for that. Because he knows there's no space up top. And the defenders are 10 times better. Lewandowski is hands down the best and most complete striker. Exactly. The striker gets marked by CDMs and both center backs. Exactly. Look, Varane, Ramos, Casemiro. You're not gonna score that. You ain't scoring nothing, man. You wouldn't even score a 1 out of 10 goal if you had Ramos, freaking Casemiro, and Varane right next to you. You can't score. You're not allowed to score. But that's where Sane could come in. That's where Gnabry could come in. That's where Muller could come in. Did Mandzukic score in the big games for us? Of course he did, because we were that good, right? And he would score the goal that would make it 2-0 and 4-0, right? But George Way, does Neuer get score in big games like he always goes missing? Nah, Neuer is one of our big game players, right? That's where you also need your goalkeepers in big games. Big games. Neuer's the best big game goalkeeper I've ever seen. This guy's making some pound saves against Cristiano Ronaldo. James scores 2 goals in... Lewandowski scored 4 goals in 1 game against Real Madrid. Is that not better? And he got his team to a Champions League final. James scoring 2 goals against his former team means nothing to me. I don't care. I don't care. James Rodriguez is gone. He's gone. He doesn't play for Bayern anymore. He's gone. He's sitting on the bench of Real Madrid for a reason. Because he's crap. James is crap. There's a reason he's sitting on Zidane's bench. It's not because Zidane hates him. It's because he's inconsistent. He doesn't fit any team system. If he played under Hansi Flick, he wouldn't be good because he's slow. He can't press. That's it. The same way Coutinho can't press, just because they have technical ability doesn't mean they're good and effective. And a lot of times they go missing, right? Drogba always scores in big games, stop the BS. And guess what? That's why his numbers in the season are dead. That's why he's not even in the top 5 for most people of the best strikers in the Premier League. Drogba scored in big games. You know what else he didn't do? Score consistently in the league. My man was pulling up with 10 Premier League goals in... Who's more crappier, James or Coutinho? Drogba in big games, right? Good player in the league where you need consistency. Didn't score. Is he even at 100 Prem goals? I think Coutinho is crappier. Don't talk to me about Lewandowski not showing up in big games because it's annoying. It's annoying. It's annoying. Can you name me 5 strikers off the top of your head that scored in big games? You can't. Samuel Eto'o didn't score in big games. He didn't. Yeah, he won 2 trebles in a row. He didn't score in big games though. He wasn't out here. He scored in the final, right? I think he scored. But the main reason Barcelona were winning was because of the wingers. Messi, they had David Villa. That's it. Chelsea delusional fans only praise him for the last UCL they won and will ever win. That's true. That's true. Kimmich is a big game scorer. Exactly. Kimmich scored 2 goals versus Real Madrid 2018. Right. No one talks about. He's a big game player. That's where you need your big games. I don't care who you are. I don't want Lewandowski scoring in big games because it's telling me my wingers aren't. Right. It's going to tell. Lewandowski was amazing against Liverpool. But you don't see that because he didn't score. But he was amazing. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. SKB, bro, I don't think you understand football. I'm telling you, the reason Lewandowski is not supposed to be scoring in big games is because he has some of the best defenders of all time against him in the big games. How many strikers score against Van Dijk? This guy didn't get dribbled past for like 2 years. And you're telling me about Lewandowski not scoring in big games? Oh my goodness, this is pissing me off so much. It's pissing me off. So you're basically calling Lewandowski crap. I mean, Bikram just explained it to me. Drogba scored in big games, but he didn't score that much in the league. His numbers were dead. Dead food, as the British would say. There's 3 players against the striker. Exactly. We know that Lewandowski had injury-prone Ribery and Robin. Oh, there you go. That's why we didn't have the big game players. We had wingers that got injured. So if Lewandowski wins the Champions League, you have to shut up about this because this is our player you're talking about, by the way. This is the best striker in the world you're talking about. People always talk about Prime Suarez. Prime Suarez didn't score that much in the big games. But you know who did? Lionel Messi and Neymar. When you have Neymar and Messi compared to injury-prone Ribery and Robin, It's different. You're going to score more in big games. We always have injury prone. Exactly. In Madrid match, Bayern Munich was going at them and he wasn't that motivated. Don't talk to me about Lewandowski's motivation. My man was sprinting. You watched the Marseille, he was sprinting from one end of the pitch to the other to score in a useless final, which he didn't. Yeah, he always has a person shadowing him. You're right. You know what teams do? Teams just defend against your strikers. Prime Suarez was way better than Lewandowski. What the hell is Prime Suarez? I don't understand this notion of Prime Suarez. I get it, right? You Prime Suarez, but people, that's why I don't like about Barcelona fans sometimes. You say things like, "Oh, Lewandowski's way more complete and overall better than Suarez," but Prime Suarez was better. What the hell is Prime Lewandowski then? This year Lewandowski has no excuse. Goodness gracious. I don't give a crap about Zuma. Some Madrid spies or something. They don't have faith in the team. Exactly. I don't like this. Lewandowski is the best striker in the world. He's always motivated. Yeah, Lewandowski is always motivated. You've just established that Robert Lewandowski doesn't always have the best players around him, the wingers. Always has injury-prone wingers, right? You just established that. But then you're also saying Lewandowski isn't motivated. Which one is it? Is it that he gets crowded in big games by 3 freaking center backs essentially, right? My man has 10 goals. I mean, look, thank you, Christian. I mean, 6 in the semifinals in the UCL, 4 in the quarterfinals, 10 goals in the round of 16. But you know why he doesn't count? Because he hasn't won the Champions League. That's why it doesn't count, right? That's why it won't count. Until he wins the Champions League, no one will look at Lewandowski and say, when he wins the UEFA Best Men's Player this year, that's why I want Lewandowski. I want our team to win the Champions League more than anything in the world. But most importantly, Lewandowski, because he deserved it. Nah, SKB talking. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Okay, so Manuel Neuer's crap because he didn't play well in a big game with South Korea. I mean, that's the logic we're using. Lewandowski's trophy cabinet. Exactly. It's a big one. Bigger than Borussia Dortmund's trophy cabinet. This guy is cold. Best striker in the world right now. And he's been like that for the last 6 years or 5 years or so. But people won't acknowledge Lewandowski's level of playing until he wins the Champions League. And that's unfortunate. But even if before, just that, he's still the best striker in the world. And I don't care what anyone says. All right, well, thank you everyone so much for watching. He'll be remembered as the Polish king. Exactly. Ciro Immobile got Golden Boot. Right. It's unfortunate that Immobile picked up 15 or 16 penalties in his league. 40% of his goals were penalties. And about 10 of those penalties were pretty much stupid. I mean, when you this is Immobile's biggest player. Bing! Penalty. Yep, better goes. Look at Ronaldo. Look at Cristiano Ronaldo right now. All right. Well, thank you everyone so much for watching. So we just did we just not tell you, SKP, that Lewandowski has 10 goals in the round of 16, 4 in the quarterfinals, 6 in the semifinals? Did we just not explain that to you? Oh, because he. Okay, well then, I mean, R9 didn't win the Champions League. R9's crap because he didn't show up in big games. That's it. That's how it works. R9's crap. That's it. R9 is booty. He's pants. He's crap because he didn't really show up in the Champions League. That's it. That's how it works. Right. That's how it works. So players like Drogba are better than R9, even though they didn't score in their leagues that much, but they scored in the big games. The big games. Right. That's how it works. Right. That's exactly how it works. That's how it works. Morata is better than Lewandowski because he scored against Liverpool and Lewandowski didn't. That's how it works. Right. That's how it works. That's how it works. Benzema's crap because he didn't score that much, but Ronaldo was scoring. Not that Benzema sacrificed his scoring for Ronaldo. Right. Pele's crap because he didn't score almost all his goals. Exactly. Pele's crap. Eusebio Eusebio's crap because he didn't score that much in the big games. Right. Oh, DJ Sav. We're just talking about people calling Lewandowski crap because apparently he doesn't score in big games, which he does, but just not because he won the Champions League. And I'm explaining that technically every single player in the world is crap because they don't score. Every striker in the world. There's not a single striker in the world right now that scores in big games. I'm disrespecting players like Immobile had 7 goals in the Bundesliga, had crap goal to games ratio in La Liga, went to Serie A, gets 14 penalties a game, and now he's this. All right, Klose was bad. Yeah, Klose, Miroslav Klose was crap. I don't know. I'm angry, and I'm not angry. I don't care that much. But everyone, thank you so much for subscribing and leaving a like on the video. It's very important. Lewandowski has nothing to prove to me. He's one of our best strikers of all time, right? And yeah, he has nothing. If Lewandowski doesn't win the Champions League, there is not an ounce of me that's going to say something like he's crap, right? Right. Drogba didn't win the Golden Boot. He was top scorer in the league, not in Europe. Well, I don't understand what that means. All right. Well, Mia San Mia and peace. I mean, when rival fans rate Lewandowski, and so Harry Kane's crap because he doesn't score in big games either. Firmino's crap because he doesn't score in big games. Salah's crap because he doesn't score in big games. You can go down the list. Can anyone just keep naming me strikers that don't score in big games? I think you're deluded with Cristiano Ronaldo because you see Ronaldo's numbers and you're like, oh, that's a strike. Ronaldo is literally Benzema is literally. You watch every single Ronaldo go in the Champions League. It's because of Karim Benzema. I guarantee you, Karim Benzema did something crazy. Aubameyang's crap. Salah doesn't score in big games, Robert. He doesn't. Aguero's bad, right? Messi with Argentina, crap, because he doesn't score in big games. Ibrahimovic is crap, because he doesn't score in big games. Never won a Champions League. Every striker, Jamie Vardy's crap, because he doesn't score in big games. Firmino is overrated. 1 goal in the last. Holy shite. Is that true? Yeah. Well, I think, you can go and pretty much say every single. Keep naming me strikers. Zlatan, right? Crap. Nobody says Ronaldo's crap, but using Ronaldo to say that's why strikers should be scoring in big games when Cristiano Ronaldo has Benzema who's making. Yep. Werner, crap, because he doesn't score in big games. Rashford scores in big games, right? Rashford isn't a striker. Mbappe's crap, because he doesn't score in the Champions League. Neymar, well, Neymar does score because he's a winger, right? Right. So every single striker we have gone through doesn't necessarily score in big games. At least not more than Lewandowski, right? Lewandowski has 10 goals in the round of 16s, 4 in the quarterfinals, 6. Icardi's crap. Lukaku's crap. Every single striker in the world is crap because they don't score in big games. That's it. That's how it works. That's the criterion for this. Well, Ronaldo isn't crap. Yeah, exactly. Right. Ronaldo isn't crap. But you understand the logic. Lautaro Martinez is crap. Everyone is crap because they don't score. Luis Suarez is crap because apparently, But you see what that argument does, right? It makes every single player crap because they don't score in big games. The difference isn't your striker in the big games. It's your wingers. Cristiano Ronaldo was a winger, an inside forward, right? That's why he's so freaking good. Jonathan David, like every single striker's crap. Well, thank you everyone so much for watching. I'm not doing no calling. I ain't got nothing to be saying.